are copying these videos, they will spread on in many social networks. So it follows that.
There's been actually a lot of conversation about how do we verify when a video was taken as opposed to uploaded, and the importance for citizen reporters to actually have some sort of a verification of the date and time of that particular video. It's been enormously difficult, and I don't know whether you've done this, but I would love you guys to do that, data crunching, of looking at the duplicate videos, what was the earliest upload, and any kind of sort of authentication of actually when and where was a particular video taken. Really, the other thing that's coming out of this more and more, same with all of the proxy servers, the trusted networks of individuals, that there is really a preparation time and stage in many ways, that these things, in order to work and gel well in the future, right, the use of social media, there are certain elements that need to be in place. We need to understand who our trusted networks are. We need to have some basic practices that we all adhere to in the way that we do reporting as citizens. And we need to find ways to secure the communication. In many instances, I've had to have regular conversation from people in Iran as they had to change. Their Gmail was shut down, then Yahoo was shut down, then Messenger was shut down. They had to constantly change the mode by which they were communicating as channels increasingly got hot. Then there was a whole glut of proxy servers that started emerging that were constantly changing and evolving. In fact, there's some excellent mapping that was done around the location of proxy servers that there's a company that did this, and it did some really fabulous work in that regard. But the trusted net of proxy servers is hugely important in that sense as well. And this is something that, as sort of movements arise in some ways, and individuals become leaders that weren't necessarily well versed in this realm before, it's a really critical thing. We actually just won an award of the Knight Foundation to develop the mobile media toolkit for citizen activists and citizen journalists to start thinking through some of those aspects of citizen reporting. But we're not there yet with our own capacity and our own ability to really sort of take it to its fullest potential.
That looks like a light control. Does anyone mind if we try and take the lights down a little bit so you can see what's going on here? Would someone just mind pressing? I'm guessing that's the light control. Yeah, great. Okay. So,
no.
Maybe not so much. Moderate. Maybe a little bit more. Is it possible to go one notch lower? Or is that?
I think we're fine. Honestly, I think we're fine.
Okay, we good? Okay. These are. Just a little background for context. These are social network diagrams of 12 different international blogospheres. The main thing to notice is that they look different from one another. These are just 12 different languages. So the point is that people who go online, blogs in this case, and link to one another are creating a network, and that network becomes reflective of what they are interested in. And we do analytics that show how this network clusters up into groups of people who care about the same kinds of stuff. We're forming informational communities within which information and messages spread. And the shape of these things are different from society to society in a way that represents something about that society, normally its politics and its culture, other factors as well. And we're going to we've done a lot of work in Iran, which we'll see in a second. But one thing I wanted to point out is this. So everyone's been talking about Twitter, and this is the last 3 weeks of activity in the Iranian blogosphere. It looks a little funny, but maybe this will give some context. So on the far right is yesterday, and moving back to, you can see where the election happened. What we're looking at are new posts to, in this case, BlogFA, which is north of 80% of the Iranian blogs are hosted on BlogFA. And this is the number of new posts a day. And what we see is a hiccup that lasted for about 2 days of interrupted but not totally shut down blogging in Iran, starting about a day after the election, lasting for about 2.5 days. So the government was doing a lot of filtering. BlogFA itself was down for long periods of time. They were effectively shutting down the blogosphere a little bit, but it has come back, and it is continuing at the level of posting that we saw before the election. This is significant mainly because everybody's talking about Twitter with good reasons. However, it is worth noting that the other major communications medium of Iranians online is still functioning and working, but it's just harder to go and translate long posts in Farsi than perhaps it is to monitor some Twitter streams. This is the Iranian blogosphere as it was in April of 2008. What we found was something a lot of people found counterintuitive, which is that it was not all young Democrats opposed to the regime that were blogging in Iran. On this network diagram, every dot represents a blog. The position is a function of who it is linking to. So these large clusters you see are groups of blogs that are all interconnected. Being the same color means that you are linking to similar things online, not just other blogs, but news sources, NGOs, anything else online. These are called attentive clusters. These are groups of bloggers who, statistically speaking, are linking to the same kinds of stuff. They normally break out around politics and things like that. What we found are the young Democrats opposed to the regime on the lower left, the secular reformist bloggers, and on the right was the thing that surprised everybody. These are the conservative politics bloggers, what